Good evening and welcome to our first county council meeting for the 2026 year. Will you please rise, and Councilman Alexander will lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please remain standing for Councilman Sanders to lead us in a prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you that we can meet in Howard County. Thank you that we have the privilege to be Howard County residents, Lord. We pray for all those that are affected by the storms, that you would be with them, comforting those that have been lost, and helping those that are still struggling. We pray, Lord, that you would give us wisdom and guidance and direction in all the business and the affairs that we cover this day, and that you would help us and give us favor in them. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And with that, we're going to move to the reorganization of the county council for 2026, and I will turn it over to Alan Wilson.
The first order of business will be to open the floor for nominations for the office of president of the council. We'll entertain nominations.
I move we nominate Darrell Maple to be our president again this year.
Second. Move that nominations be closed.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Congratulations, Darrell. Well, let's vote. Let's go ahead and vote on the motion. Sorry.
All in favor?
All those in favor of Darrell Maple as president coming forward,
Aye.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Doing vice president?
Darrell does that now. Darrell does
Okay.
the vice
Okay,
president.
so thank you, everybody. So I will open the floor for nominations for vice president of the council.
Mr. President, I move we elect Brian Alexander to be our vice president this year.
And I second that.
All right, I have a motion by Councilman Faulkner and a second by Councilwoman Lake. I will now close the nominations, and all those in favor of Brian Alexander as vice president, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Brian, you are VP again. Thank you, guys.
Good choices.
All right, so with that, we will open the regular business meeting, and we will start with the approval of the minutes from the December 9th, 2025 meeting. Everybody had those circulated in your packets. Any discussion or comments on those?
Mr. President, I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All right, motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner. Properly been made by Councilman Faulkner, seconded by Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor of approving the minutes from December 9th, 2025, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. With that, we will move on to item number 4 on our list, which is additional appropriations. Jessica, take it away.
Ordinance number 2026 HCCO 02, additional appropriations. Whereas it's been determined that it's now necessary to approve more money than was appropriated in the 2026 annual budget. Now therefore be it ordained by the County Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the expenses of the taxing unit, the following additional sums of money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named and for the purposes specified, subject to the laws governing the same. County General Jail Employee Service Bonus, $5,000. Prosecutor Caseworker, $41,521. Deputy Prosecutor, $56,425. Probation PSC Coordinator, reduction $30,000. Probation Officer SC, $11,664.08. Probation Officer KM, $5,000. Total County General Fund, $89,610.08. Lit Special Purpose Fund, Jail Employee Service Bonus, $2,500. Kinsey Youth Center Emergency Shelter Care Detention Alternatives, $2,003.59. Kinsey Youth Center Secure Detention Alternatives, $2,000. $3.60. Total lit special purpose fund, $6,507.19. Cumulative capital development fund, information systems, equipment, $110,000. Total cumulative capital development fund, $110,000. Local road and street fund, vehicles, $475,000. Total local road and street fund, $475,000. Surveyor's Corner Perpetuation Fund, maintenance and service contracts, $36,510.93. Total Surveyor's Corner Perpetuation Fund, $36,510.93. Lit Correctional Facilities Fund, contract services, doctor, $261,419. Total lit correctional facilities fund, $261,419. Opioid restricted fund, other services and charges, $333,054.17. Total opioid restricted fund, $333,054.17. Opioid unrestricted fund, other services and charges, $178,717.42. Total opioid unrestricted fund, $178,717.42. Opioid administrative fund, other services and contracts, $1,925. Total opioid administrative fund, $1,925. County user fee, drug court, problem-solving coordinator, $5,000. Total county user fee, $5,000. County user fee reentry court fund, problem-solving coordinator, $25,000. Total county user fee reentry court, $25,000. County user fee project income fund, home detention, reduction $14. Director of Community Supervision, reduction $266. Probation officer, reduction $10,731.70. Total county user fee project income fund, reduction $11,011.70. Hemp grant fund, contract services, $25,700. Total hemp grant fund, $25,700. H5N1 fund, vaccine supplies, $5,500. Travel and training, $250. Communications, Communications, $450. Advertisement and publications, $1,050. Printing, $750. Total H5N1 fund, $8,000. Mental health PSC Superior 2 fund, incentives, $2,000. Quarter 5 incentives, graduation supplies, $2,000. Travel and training, $2,500. Drug screens, $10,000. Total mental health fund, $16,500. Veterans PSC grant Superior 2 fund, probation officer, $57,465. FICA, $4,473. PERF, $8,303. Insurance, $4,759. Other supplies, $4,000. Incentives, $2,500. Graduation supplies, $2,000. Therapy dog supplies, $3,000. Travel and training, $2,500. Drug screens, $10,000. Total Veterans PSC grant fund, $99,000.
All right. Thank you very much. That was a gauntlet.
Yes.
Okay, so we will start at the top of the list, and we have the jail employee service fund, county general fund for the sheriff, which would be Sheriff Asher. But he called me, and he just happened to be leaving town, so we get Christina.
We have, the first is employee service bonus for deputy for allowed transfer, that's $5,000.
Technical difficulties.
No, I just
Okay.
did.
And then the second would be a corrections officer employee service bonus for $2,500, and both of those really come out of commissary. We just moved the money. And then the final thing is the contract services. That would be for 24-hour nursing coverage for the jail. And I can't answer questions on that because I don't know much about it. But if you do have questions, Captain Matt Deckard is here to answer those.
Thank you very much. So for the first two on the employee service bonuses, just as a reminder, the sheriff has agreed to cover those costs out of commissary, so these on here will just get reimbursed from the commissary fund for those lateral transfers. They are laterals, right? Yeah, okay. And then the last one was for the 24-hour nursing. Does anyone have questions for Christina or preferably Matt Deckard on that?
Yes, Mr. President, if I may, please. Matt? Matt, could you please expand on what's going on with the, how much do you have right now as far as nursing goes, or doctors go out there at the jail? What is it currently, what has it been, and where are we wanting to go?
So currently, I don't have 24-hour nursing in the size of jail that we are. We really need 24-hour nursing. I have nursing staff there from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. And from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m., I don't have a nurse. So if there's an emergency that happens, or an inmate that comes into the jail gets arrested that has an issue, we generally have to contact an on-call nurse who's not there to evaluate the individual. So what happens 99% of the time is the nurse says, send him out to the hospital. And so, not saying that the individual didn't need to go to the hospital, not saying that at all. What I'm saying is sometimes they didn't need to go to the hospital, but just the nurse be able to take care of them there, either a blood pressure issue, a diabetic issue, those types of things. So, we really need 24-hour nursing for that, for those after-hours times.
Is this a pretty common occurrence out there at the jail?
Yes, sir.
How common is it, do you think?
Well, I don't have the number, I mean, as far as after-hours stuff, I don't want to give you a wrong number.
Sure.
Between 40 and 60% of the time it happens.
Okay.
It's a large spread, I understand, but without the numbers. The cost savings wise, I can't give you that number and that data either, because I don't want to give you a number and be wrong. But there is a savings of some sort, rather than just sending them out automatically to the hospital. That's an automatic ER charge and those types of things. When a nurse being there, being able to evaluate and to address an issue could have been saved, I guess you want to say. And there are individuals that need to go to the hospital when they get arrested. Generally, we try to stop that at the door. If they need to be at the hospital to get evaluated, the officer would take them. But sometimes those issues don't arise until after they come in and they've been there for a couple hours, so.
Matt, would this nursing coverage be on weekends too? Covering
Yes,
the
it would
full
cover the
weekend?
weekends
So
too.
7 days a week,
7 days a week.
24 hours a day.
Yes, sir.
Is there any mental health element associated with the coverage? or the
Yes,
proposed coverage?
there is an added mental health benefit to that too, which would be helping our current mental health professional who's there now. She is there for 40 hours a week. On top of this agreement would be an additional mental health person to contact, or to even actually come into the jail to help her out with her needs, because sometimes she gets inundated with those types of calls, and it's just, there's a lot going on. So,
Matt, when you say between 40 and 60%, do you mean that when a situation occurs where they need a nurse, between 40 and 60% of the time it's after hours? Is that what you're saying?
yes.
Okay.
And they get sent out 40 to 60%, I would say.
Okay.
So this would increase 1233. I mean, so you currently have 767, 711 now, right?
Correct.
Appropriated. And we've already used some of it, okay, not very much of it, but the additional appropriation for the nurse, one nurse, two nurses?
More than one or two, it's going to cover the 24 hours total, so you're not just one employee, but they're getting 2 to 3 nurses to be able to cover all the time, even through the weekend.
Okay,
So it's not just one employee.
okay, so, but you'll have enough, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So this will cover a couple of nurses then, if we need it, or,
Yeah, and that's on the contracted service that we have. That's what they're telling me what they need to get to the 24-hour mark.
okay, and then, and we're taking this money from 1233, but correctional facilities, and we're watching the money pretty close right now. You know that because of the changes at the
Yeah.
state level. This does have the service of some mental health. I'm not against it. I just know, I'm just a little afraid if we commit ourselves now that we don't know what the legislators are doing until the end of February or the beginning of March, okay, with the money. So I guess I think we need it. What do you think? What's your opinion on it?
We absolutely need it. The size of our jail, I can't speak to all other 91 counties that have jails, but the size of our jail, we need 24-hour nursing. The demographics of Howard County, the people that come in the door, they are often sick, sometimes drug-ridden. These are just facts. And so when you have a nurse there all the time, they're there to evaluate that person when they come in the door to see if they need to be here in the jail, one,
Okay,
and two, if there's issues that arise after hours.
okay.
So,
And I'm sure that those things do arise, okay? I
Sure.
know that, and there's no other way to take care of them, right, except call somebody in,
correct.
okay?
Are you happy with not the amount, but the services that are provided by the current contract? It's a contract situation.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
right.
yeah. It was a good decision to move into where we're at now. We just see a need for 24 hours,
Got it.
a huge need.
Matt, I remember in the discussions with the sheriff that he had described that there's often times where the nurse will come in at 6 a.m. and there'll be a backlog of individuals that do need care. So it's difficult to do some of the tasks that need to happen throughout the day, and people taking a lot of time to be able to get that service. So
Yeah.
do you think that this is also an issue and, one that this would help relieve?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oftentimes, the nurse that does come in at 6 o'clock, just like you said, has issues from the night before that she has to address along with her other day-to-day operations. Not that there's one nurse working at any given time, it's saying that it's just, there's 280-something people currently in the jail that have lots of needs. And so there is a backlog generally happening on a Monday morning is the worst backlog. But yeah, every morning there's something.
Okay, also, I remember in our discussion, the price would be, or the additional would have been closer to 280,000. So it looks like it's about $20,000 less than what was originally. Is there, because there's additional resources being provided from another source, or it's less than what we had anticipated?
I believe so. Christina, do you have that information? Is there additional funds being provided to go toward it out of commissary? You know? Okay, I misspoke. I can't speak on that. That's the sheriff's decision, not mine.
Yeah, I do think it was discussed that Jerry thought that would happen, but I would think that would be in this number because you would have to come back for an additional for that amount, so. I could be wrong on that since the sheriff's not here, but I think that's right.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Did you need something, Commissioner?
I just want to tell you that we keep a close look at the jail course, and with the amount of injuries, suicide attempts that we see out there, and I said this in a meeting just a while ago to all department heads, the jail currently, while it's not our best, it is our biggest mental health facility that we have right now. And I realize that our mental health professional that we have there, our nursing staff, they are overwhelmed. I can tell you that. And getting this additional coverage, I think, is what we need right now until we get the new jail built and we start to try and address some of these issues. I know the staff out there is doing what they can, but I think we need to do more. So I know from the commissioners, we would support their request. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any questions for me?
All right, hearing none. Next up, we have the prosecutor's request, and I don't see Mark, so I suppose, Jessica, you will cover for him.
Yes. These are the two positions that were covered under the 8109 grant, and they did not reapply for that grant. He had sent us all an email, and it kind of explains why he wasn't reapplying for that. However, those positions are still in the prosecutor's office and need to be paid and
Yeah.
funded,
So we have two people working, and so this was somewhat, I don't know if I call it an oversight, but just maybe a miscommunication from when we set the budget. I believe the prosecutor told us one thing, and we didn't think about the ramifications for doing what we did. So, yeah, he gave a nice explanation of the grant process here in front of us. It's in your packet. Anybody have any other questions for him or the situation?
I guess, do we have any hope of getting this grant or any similar grant in the future to replace this?
I can't answer
That's
that.
not a question.
But I think in his email, he kind of explains why they wouldn't be reapplying for this grant. I don't know if that means they're gonna apply for other grants. I don't know what all grants.
I think as a
are out
whole,
there,
I mean,
but-
community corrections has seen it pretty hard too. The grant funding is just drying up across the state, so.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, moving on. Speaking of community corrections, we'll have Judge Tate come up for a couple of things, and then Stephanie Cole finish community corrections after that.
Okay, really just one thing. Howard Superior Court 3 would like to give some money back to the county, if that's all right. We would like to, as you will recall, back during the budget process, Superior Court 3 had just taken over both of the problem-solving courts, the reentry and drug court. And they are funded three different ways, kind of like probation. It's grants, user fees, and then the county will pay for the coordinator with a salary of about $58,000. And that coordinator is an employee of the probation department. So what we're proposing, and again, we needed to figure out, we've got some user fees that we can use, and we needed to figure out what we could use those for. And we were told that salaries are one of those things that we could use it for. So we're suggesting that we fund $30,000 of Leah's $58,000 salary, $25,000 from, I think it's reentry, and $5,000 from the drug court user fees. So, and hopefully, we'll be able to do that here the next couple of years. Eventually, our user fees are not going to allow us to pay for that entire position. And salary's one thing, as you all know, it's the benefits that are the big costs. So every little bit helps. I'm sure those that behind us will probably have a need for that money, but we'll be glad to give that back to the county.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody, any other questions for Judge? Nice thorough explanation and giving us some money back. Thank you.
All right, and then it will take, Stephanie's going to have to request that it be removed, so it's not a raise for the employee, it's just, we're just going to supplement. And then, again, we would have done this with the budget process, but I didn't want to have the budget approved and then be told that wasn't a use we could use it for, so.
Yeah,
that's
we
where
were
we're at.
pretty clear that there'd be some tweaks and some changes
Yeah.
after the first of the year, so thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Stephanie?
Hello.
Okay, so within county general, the two additionals I'm asking for, this was initially my position previously before I'm in the role currently. And the amount of $5,000 was the supervisor's stipend, and then the $11,664.08 was the difference in a starting PO and years of service. When budget was done, that position was taken to like a starting PO position. However, with movements of people in the department and stuff, that position's being filled with the same amount of years of service as myself, which is the $11,664.08 to cover that salary, and then the $5,000 is to cover the supervisor position that was previously also just filled. The reductions in 2542, the $14 and the $266 were just some additionals for salaries. I had to get them to be what their salary was, so that was just taking that down. And then the probation officer piece, that position was filled with someone with less years of service. So there's that reduction.
Okay.
And
Any
that's it.
questions for Stephanie on that one?
You've done a lot of calculations, have you not?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you very much. Next, we have Kinsey and Michelle Iggy. Did I say that right? Iggy? Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon. So today, I'm just here to let you know that we received a $4,006 and some odd change, don't ask me why, grant from Drug Free America to help us absorb the cost of a program for the youth, and it is the equine therapy. We did it last year. The kids seem to enjoy it. The staff enjoy it. With finding a grant, yeah, let's go for it. So we would like to use that this year. We will be split between 9603 and 9605, roughly $400 a month coming out. So it should cover us the rest of the year.
Is that what, did you say equine therapy?
It is. It's with
Narrowgate?
Narrowgate. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
I know some of those Narrowgate folks, so.
They're
good.
pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks for applying for that and using it for the kids that need it.
Absolutely.
Any other questions for Michelle?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks for contending with Savannah, too. Okay, next up, we have IT, Jeremy Stevens.
Hello, Jeremy Stevens, Information Systems Director. I'm here tonight to ask for an additional appropriation for the Cumulative Capital Fund, the equipment account. Originally, that's to purchase servers. Now, our servers are replaced every 5 years to keep them refreshed, under support, all that. Previously, in the year 2020, we got a 0% lease. So those costs were spread out over 5 years. So every year during the budget process, I'd ask for $25,000 to cover the entire $125,000 cost. I wanted to do it again this year. You know, the company who offered that lease and the 0% financing I think it was a mix between, COVID, and they wanted to get equipment out. They was afraid computers weren't going to sell. And a combination of that and the company sold the product, and so I can no longer go back to them. It's not offered. The servers went out of support in December of last year, but all throughout the year, I was looking at solutions. What could we replace this with? Technology changes all the time. And I got 3 different vendor quotes back and their amounts. However, none of them offered a 0% lease. So basically, what I'm asking for is to pay that money all up front this year and not spread out over the next 5 years, with a little bit difference. The vendor, I think it was Friday, I wanted a fresh quote to come here to get approved. And the amount between last year and this year is different. I did all the big crying and pleading I could, and there's a memory price squeeze going on these days, and a lot of the computer costs are going up. So on your form there, or on my original request, I asked for $110,000. That was to cover the entire cost of the servers, which was $134,000, which is, I asked for $25,000 this year, is the difference between that and the other 4 years. However, the price now, so I don't know if I'm, hopefully I don't have to fill out another Form 1, but I'll fill out whatever. But the price now is $159,000. And so basically, the request is above and beyond what I'd normally be budgeting for is $24,000 over 5 years. But I'm asking for that the total bill this year will be $159,000 to pay for 5 years of hardware, software, and support for all the server infrastructure. These servers serve every single department, every single one of them. There's not one department that does not utilize these, so it's for every single department. Even with the price increase, which I wasn't very happy about, they're still the lowest solution price. So this vendor is $159,000. The second place was $184,000, and the third place was $591,000. So there's a big spread there. Yeah, so it's, even though they rose the price, they are still the cheapest of the three. And I also believe they're the best solution. And so that's my request.
Okay. Alan, just point of clarification, he will have to, we can't increase that because of advertisement.
Correct.
So if we approve this, he would have to come back again next month for the additional 25 and change or so.
That's right.
Just so everybody's aware of that. Sorry, Jeremy. I
Oh,
know
it's,
just
we're,
the works.
even though the official OEM, the vendor support ended in December, I knew that, we wouldn't have it wouldn't happen until this year, so I got a 6-month extended. So we are still under support, we're still covered, but these prices, they're, I want to lock in this one. I don't want them to jack up the price another round. With the AI boom and everything, the memory prices are really being drove up. So I'd like to get this done sooner than later. So if I'm understanding right, I just, at the end of the next month, I just come in again and just put that new amount, and I think I can do that, so.
So, just for,
Oh, go ahead. I was just curious, $159,000 for this vendor, and then the next one was 180 some, and the next one 500 some. Was there a difference in that one between these?
Well,
that one and these other two?
I don't want to get too much to it, but that company was bought out by another company. And they have a different business model. They don't want to serve let's call them smaller people. They just want the Fortune 500s, so they're kind of pricing everything out. Because that one with the $591,000, that's the same product we got for $125,000 5 years ago. And so until it got bought out, they just changed their model. A lot of folks in IT are not thrilled about that because they did make a good product and they were the original, so.
so my question may be directed to Jessica. I heard 159,000. Heard you were gonna budget 25,000
Well, I
last
did-
year.
I did
Was that
budget
in there?
25. Yeah,
So was
so-
that 25? So would the amount that we need total now be 134,000?
Yeah, 159 minus 25, which is 134,000.
Okay, so, and now we have 110 that we've advertised. If we approve that, we could take that from the 134 and say, then we would need another 24,000.
So I can come back, so I think, and that account is made up of server costs and computer costs. There's 40,000 in computers, I could just,
Transfer.
well, it's the same account, same fund too. I could probably just do that and then make the additional request for the difference. Is
Do
that
you-
what I'm understanding?
Well, that's what I was asking, if that's the route to go, which it seemed like it was. Do you have a time constraint when you have to close the deal?
Well, I'm going to assume 2 months to 2 to 3 months, if we're realistic, of after placing the order, getting the product in and getting everything set up and things migrated over. So there's that. But take December plus 6 months, and that's when our support runs out. So around May, we have to be done. We have to be done, not just order it, but order it, get it in, deploy it, in place, and operational.
So after you order it, do you know
I'm
what
guessing
the
2 to
lead
3
time-
months.
2 to 3 months.
So they, the vendors will tell you their backlog, but sometimes that's just a sales pitch, right? So I don't know. They're usually pretty good. 2 to 3 months is usually what I expect, so.
So if we approved 110 this evening, we'd expect him to come back next time asking for another 24,000 for servers.
Is it going to be 24?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Jeremy.
Jeremy, my question is, you now have $65,000 appropriated.
Correct.
Do you have that planned for something else?
Yeah, $40,000 is the annual PC refresh, and $25,000 was allocated for the servers. So
Okay.
I could take, front the computer cost for a month, right, and delay those purchases. I like to trickle them in anyway, so the warranties don't expire, just sitting on a shelf.
Right.
How long could the county operate without the servers?
Well, they'd be shut down if they all went down at once, so it's, everybody's got different procedures in place. It would be very tricky and difficult to operate without these servers, so. And we don't plan, they're very redundant, we don't plan on them going down. But something that is as critical as serving every single department 24/7.
Yeah.
I'd like to make sure there's somebody I can call to get a part replaced or something back up if it happens, so.
So what's the best way to get the money, the 110? It would just
From my
be the-
understanding is, hopefully the council will grant $110,000 additional appropriation for this year. And at the end of next month, an additional $24,000 for the total purchase. Because there's the PC money in there, once this is, if you agree to it, then basically I'll be going, talk to the commissioners, because they're the ones that would be signing it. But I didn't want to talk to them without having a money source. It kind of seemed putting the cart before the horse there. And so once you approve of the funding's there, then just we talk to commissioners to sign it, so.
Jack's laughing at you
Yeah,
back there.
and that's the plan. If that answers your question, Martha,
I would just, I would say that this makes sense, in my opinion. With that fund is healthy, has a nice cash balance in it, and it's just paying it up front as opposed to moving it along, long-term. So, in the essence of time, I think, and one more question for Jeremy, we'll move on, okay? Anybody else got a question for Jeremy?
Got a statement. We need to keep the servers up to date, period.
I agree. And I won't be coming back, so, my future budgets will be $25,000 less, so.
Yep, that's the trade-off. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
You say that until something goes wrong. They jack it up again. All right, next up is Highway Amber Toll. It's the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same. So this is the same spreadsheet that I sent out in an email last week to have a little bit of an explanation of my, what looks like a very large ask for my equipment budget this year. So I am asking for $475,000 to be added to my equipment fund line. And this is, I'd like to explain this in two parts. The first part is more of an encumbrance type additional. We had a very aggressive equipment purchase last year that we got approved through the council and commissioners. We did great with that. The only snag that we had was 3 of those pieces of equipment didn't come in last year. The 2 trucks, we have received, and the plow we are still waiting on. So, we were not able to purchase those with our 2025 appropriations and budget. So we'd like to, shift $336,024 into our 2026 appropriated fund so that we can pay for those pieces of equipment and not affect our 2026 budget. The second portion of my ask is a true additional request of $138,976. And that is due to the fact that we want to purchase a single axle dump truck, a John Deere mower with a mower arm, and then also have just a little bit left over to purchase some of those little miscellaneous equipment pieces that kind of come up through the year. And so that would be, for both of those additionals, that would be a total of $475,000.
One comment that I will make is, once again, kind of like what Jeremy just discussed, is this fund is pretty healthy, the LRS, and so it can sustain this and makes sense to do it, especially since you're needing to do the work out and about, so.
Yes.
Any questions for Amber on this?
No question on this, but I want to say thank you to the Highway Department for all the work they did on Sunday and Monday, and
Thanks.
our subdivision is pretty passable, very passable, really.
Good, that's our goal. That's our goal. Yep, the guys are still out there. We had a little bit of drifting today, so they're still out there plowing, and will be for a little bit longer tonight, so.
So this goes back to when I was in the Air Force, and we lived in Rome, New York. They got a lot of snow up there. And the equipment that they had, they always had a department for corrosion control and stuff like that. Do you address that at all with any of your equipment? How do you do it? And it may be a longer explanation than you want to give here, but I'd just be interested in some of the things that you actively do, maybe after the plowing season is finished, to maintain corrosion control and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was an aggressive program and it was a valuable program.
Yeah.
The blades and stuff like that you got.
Yeah, so after each storm event, and even sometimes in between if it's a long storm event, all of our vehicles are parked inside of our barn to keep them a little bit warmer and out of the elements every night. And then as often as we can, we do clean off of our trucks. We have a wash bay, we have warm water, and so we try to clean off all the salt and grime as quickly as we can so that we prevent some of that corrosion before it even starts. We have thought about looking into, kind of spraying protectants and stuff like that. I'm not sure that that is a direction we want to go yet, but we have kind of talked about it. So we seem to do a pretty decent job of just keeping the trucks clean and keeping the salt off the trucks and preventing any kind of corrosion from starting in the first place. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you, Amber.
Yep.
Next up, we have Greg Lake, County Surveyor.
Good evening. My request is basically cleanup from 25. It's our contract for section corner perpetuations. That work done in December got transferred into 26, so I just need to put the money back to straighten up my contracts.
Well, I understand it's an extra piece of paper to fill out, and appreciate you doing that, so.
No problem.
All right.
Any
Thanks for keeping
questions?
the corner square.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Jack Dodd. Unless Pam's going for him.
Good evening. We have our opioid dollars. And as you know, this is money that comes from the state to the counties from opioid lawsuits. And each year we need to appropriate these dollars, and that's what we're doing this evening. We have restricted and unrestricted funds.
What's the difference?
I'm sorry?
What's the difference between the restricted and the unrestricted?
Just basically what it says with the restricted funds, we can only use those for opioid-related items.
Okay,
With the unrestricted, basically, we can use those for whatever we want. We also have administrative fees that we can use for administering these funds.
yeah, okay.
So, pretty self-explanatory, but with the restricted funds, what we've been using is for anything related to the treatment of opioid-addicted patients or residents. One of the things the Howard County commissioners have mandated, these funds must be used for Howard County residents. So, and that's turned out pretty well.
Jack, how long do these, will these funds continue to come in?
Councilman, I wish I knew the answer to that. We don't know. We anticipate that they'll continue until the funds run out, but we do not know when that will be. Right now, we are utilizing them. I like to tell people we are using these funds to save lives, and I think we do that with these funds.
With these funds, do you guys have kind of targeted ways in order to try to help alleviate that problem for '26, or want to comment on some of the ways that it's been done in 2025?
There's no target. I wish there was a way we could project what these funds will do and the impact that they will have. But in the meantime, we just keep up the good fight, because there's a fight out there with opioids and opioid addictions. I think we're all aware of that. And I think we're seeing an impact that we have on our community. First City just had a open house of the program that they created, that created 40, it's either 42 or 47 beds, that they took a church that was dilapidated and created beds for treatment. And so we were a supporter of that with our opioid dollars. And I think that's part of saving lives in our community. We've also used our opioid dollars to help support the rescue mission, as you are aware of. So we try to spread it throughout the community, through CAM, through the Howard County Drug Task Force. We try to spread it all throughout the community.
Okay. Any other questions for Commissioner Dodd? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for your assistance.
I believe next up we have Janice. And so Janice has a representative, I don't know if you guys saw the email today or not, who could not make it because of the weather. So she is going to speed dial this, is it Alexa is her name? And
Alexa, yeah.
she will answer any questions that we have regarding this grant opportunity.
Is it okay if I go ahead and put her on the line now?
Absolutely,
Okay.
I think so. We've never done this before, so we'll see how it works.
Hey, Alexis, we're up, okay? If you stand by for just a minute, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, okay? All right, thank you.
Janice, can you have her state her name and residence? please?
Yes, I will. First of all, I just wanted to say that I'm here asking for an additional $25,700. EMA was awarded a hazard material emergency planning grant. This grant will be utilized to do a commodity flow study for Howard County to see what type of hazards are traveling up and down our roadways. And I've got Alexis on the phone here to answer any questions you guys have. Alexis, if you could go ahead and state your name and the company.
Hi, guys. I'm Alexa Remke with Sesco Group based out of Indianapolis. And I work with hazardous commodity flow studies. We have 20 years of experience across at least 30 counties within Indiana.
Go ahead.
Okay, no.
So we have a document in front of us. I assume this is something she prepared for this?
She prepared the map. I just
Okay.
Googled that information, put it on
Okay.
there because I wasn't sure she was going to
Sure.
be able to make the meeting.
Yep. So this grant goes to the county, and then you will do the study and complete all the work.
Correct. And then we'll present to you all, at the end of our findings, we'll report to you, we will present to you a finalized report of the findings along with recommendations as to how to go about taking care of anything that you might need to take care of with regards to those hazards that we find. And then we will also do a presentation of that information in person at an LEPC meeting or council meeting, however you guys would like, if that would be something that you would like to have, as well as a poster that is basically a spreadsheet, a nice looking, well put together spreadsheet that gives you all of the hazards that were found in your county on each route and railroad.
And when you say you come up with a report that we can then, address concerns, is that depending on the concern, do we need to work with like county highway, stormwater, surveyor to address those, or how do those get addressed?
So the recommendations generally are going to be essentially informing you of your largest hazards. Obviously, you're going to see those on the spreadsheet, but we'll group them into types of hazards so that way you know generally what you're working with. And we'll make recommendations essentially stating kind of like fire extinguishers on the side of the highway that they did in Fort Wayne years ago, or your hazardous zones are this area, so we would recommend if you have a hazmat vehicle or any resources, maybe putting them closer to that area, and those kinds of, and then training, of course, as well. What suggestions with those?
Okay.
So this is a reimbursement grant, so this is an
You pay,
appropriation. Right, we pay it
You pay
upfront.
for their fee, and then the state will reimburse you. It's a $25,700 reimbursable grant, no match money.
So that will be what the appropriation is for.
What type? I'm sorry, what, Martha?
That's what the appropriation is for.
The
to-
grant?
the
No, what
grant.
you're asking covers.
Oh, I'm
that.
asking for $25,700. I'm sorry, I just didn't hear you there.
And that covers the grant.
That pays for,
What they're going to be
for
paying
their
for.
fee, yes,
Yeah.
which the commissioners have approved the proposal
Okay.
that they submitted
Okay,
already.
okay.
And this will include your pipeline and pipeline and railroad as well.
Okay. I didn't see where railroad was on there, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. All right, any other questions for Janet or Alexis?
I didn't catch that.
He was just asking if they had questions for you.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you for your
Thank
testimony
you.
and your help.
Thank you. We'll talk soon, okay? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Janice. All right, next up, we have James Vest with the Health Department for the H5N1 Fund.
Hello, how we doing? I'm just requesting to appropriate the $8,000 for the H5N1 grant that we received last year for use in '26. Any questions for me?
Once again, like what Martha said, this is a grant that you guys have spent the money already, or were?
Some of it,
Yeah, okay,
yes.
and then we'll get reimbursed.
Technically, this grant ended on the 16th of January,
Oh.
but there's discussion on extending it. We'll find that out later, but money was spent
Okay.
at the end of the year.
Yeah,
All right,
perfect.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Judge Dahl from Superior Court 2. Sorry, you're not Judge Dahl, and I don't know your name, so forgive me.
I'm Christine Euler, I'm the coordinator
Okay.
for mental health court and vet
Thank
court.
you.
Judge Dahl's in a jury trial. I'm just here to appropriate the monies from mental health court and vet court for salary and operational fees.
Okay, and these are both grant-supported funds?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have questions for Christine on that? Wow, I have to wait till the end, but yours is simple.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, I believe that is all of the additional appropriations. Do I hear,
What about this Veterans PCS grant?
oh, I'm sorry, that was part of what Christine just did.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
part of that?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Both grant funds.
Oh, got
For
it.
his
Both
court.
Veterans Court and mental
Yeah.
health. Got it.
Is there any discussions or motions on the additional appropriation, HCCO 02?
Yes, Mr. President, I move we approve these as presented, and
Mr. President, I have a question, please.
Okay.
If we could please readdress it. Sorry, Councilman
okay.
Faulkner. But before we approve all the additional appropriations, I'd like to revisit, if we could, please, the sheriff's request and for the additional nurses at the jail. It's quite a chunk. I'd like to have more discussion on that and understand it better before we appropriate such a large amount and put ourselves in this position where we're spending more than what we can afford to spend. And I'd like to see if we could perhaps go, instead of 3 shifts, maybe to 2 shifts, 14 hours. Maybe that is enough to relieve the pressure or pull up the slack. Just like to have more conversation, perhaps table that request until February's meeting, until we get a better grip on this. And that's my request.
Okay. So we have, Frank was wanting to make a motion to move on. John is saying maybe we should table it. So what's the council's wishes on this?
I'm still going to keep my motion on the floor to move for approval of these as presented.
You say, when you say 2 shifts, I'm not sure how that would work. Are you still talking about providing 24-hour nursing only?
No. No. If we could provide 2 hours, or 2 shifts, 14 or 16 hours, that should reduce the cost down, at least reduce it down to where it's more manageable. And they still have more service than what they have right now. There just hasn't been any in-depth discussion on this that I'm aware of. And I'd like to have a little more input and understanding of it so that, we can maintain a balanced budget here. And I'm just concerned. I understand there's a need. I totally understand there's a need, Matt, and I appreciate all you're doing.
They're already working 16 hours now, John. From 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. is 16 hours.
So you're just going to increase it from 2 shifts to 3 shifts is what you're doing.
24-hour shifts, and with 24-hour, not shifts, but 24-hour nursing total. So 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, there's a nurse there.
Are you getting coverage right now on the weekends also?
There is coverage on the weekend, it's
Okay.
just the same hours.
Okay.
Would it help the council if the commissioners were able to commit 30,000 of our unrestricted opioid dollars to this? Just a thought. Since it is unrestricted, so.
And but we don't know how long that's going to last, so we
Well, it
just
would only
be paid
last
for this year.
1
Yeah.
year, but one-time shot.
Right.
So, Matt, on the request for $261,000, is that for 2 nurses for third shift from 10 to 6? Is that what that is, or is that for one nurse, or?
I
what
can't
is that?
speak on that because I don't know what their business model is as far as how many nurses it takes to get to that number.
Yeah.
That includes those extra hours, their FICA expenses, their insurance. When they, the way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Daryl, when they increase their hours, their insurance goes up a lot. So that's the way it was explained to me. So they're taking a hit for insurance, their FICA, and their employee pay. You know, there was no way that I could hire a nurse to work in the jail for low hours. And actual nursing pay now is pretty high. So as far as their business model, John, I can't speak on that.
Okay. Thank you.
How many nurses do we have overall right now, Matt? How many nurses do we have right now working out there?
I have 4.
Okay, and they don't work at
They work
night?
12-hour shifts. I have two nurses that work 12-hour shifts, and one nurse is a 40-hour Monday through Friday nurse, a lead nurse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not my decision, that's theirs, to get it covered.
okay.
So-
Then they put another couple so they could rotate?
Yeah, so you're just having one nurse overnight from 10 to 6 to cover that, or that time, I guess, however that might be, however you structure it. But you still have to cover it 7 days a week. So it might be 2 nurses, it might be 3, I have no idea how they'll get it covered, if that makes sense. Because a full-time position doesn't cover 24 hours. So you might have 3 FTEs to cover a 24-hour shift, or, you get what I'm saying? I don't know their business model, so.
Do we
What
want
I heard is there's a need.
There's a huge need.
There's a need, but I would say this, kind of maybe going along with what John's saying though, is if you have, so you'd have one nurse there during the night, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so one nurse for 7 days. So I don't know how many, I don't know how many nurses they're talking about. But if they had 2 nurses, if we're talking about 2 nurses there, then each nurse would essentially be working 3.5 days, right? 3.5 shifts a week. So I wouldn't see why they would need more than that, but that's for $261 plus $1,000, that's $130,000 a nurse. And I know they don't get paid near that. I can't imagine even when you add in their insurance and everything else that is $130,000. So I guess what I'm saying is there have you talked to them at all about that number?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's been many meetings before we even brought this to the council's attention to ask for money. There's
And
probably 3 or 4 meetings.
how are they justifying essentially $130,000
Well,
per nurse?
it's just not a nursing component, there's also a mental health component on top of that. So they're adding that too. Plus, the way I understand it is when you add more nursing or more hours, their insurance goes up, not the nurse's insurance, but their malpractice insurance. So there's a huge cost increase there for them because of that. So that's where some of that money comes from too. And there's also that mental health component to it, so.
I would say if the council so chooses to table this, I'm sure Sheriff and Matt and them would be happy to sit down with Blake and give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth analysis. I've been privy to a little bit more of this. I've tried to share it with people, but it is kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around. If the council so chooses, I'm just.
So it'd be basically 56 hours are not currently being covered. If that's 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so you're talking about essentially 2 nurses plus additional mental health coverage during that course of, so, I mean, and that's talking about salary, benefits, insurance, and liability, which they're covering on their end, not necessarily the jail. So I mean, to me, the numbers somewhat make sense, considering the amount that, a nurse would be paid for midnight salary, working overtime, 2 employees, but,
Well, I think too, though, you said, what'd you say, 56 hours? So,
per individual. So that'd be, that's for one person, but if you double that for 2.
I'm just seeing that we have a lot of needs here, and I'm trying to separate the needs from the wants. And there's only so much pie to pay for all these needs, and we're going to have to say, in my opinion, my humble opinion, we have to say, well, just not enough pie to do the job here, not enough money to do the job, and this is January, and I'd just like more information, like to learn more about this before we commit to this financial obligation. And I would make a motion, Mr. President, to table the 1233 Lit Correctional Facilities Fund for a contract services doctor until we can learn more about it in February.
real quick, before we act on that, I'll go back to the 56 hours. That would cover eight hours for 7 nights, right? So that would be less than 2 full-time nurses. In other words, if you hired 2 nurses, they would not be full-time. See what I'm saying?
Well, that's not I thought it was, my understanding is that there's 2 nurses at one time.
Like you said.
So you've got 2 nurses working 56 hours. So it's not 2 nurses splitting those
Did
hours.
I misunderstand? Because I thought you said there'd be 1 nurse there during the night. I might have misunderstood.
No, you didn't. That is correct. There's 1 nurse would be there at the night.
So to cover the 56 hours, each nurse is working less than full-time, is what I'm saying.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for the clarification.
So there's a motion to table the sheriff's request for the nursing.
There was a motion first to
Yeah, I'm
approve
sorry.
the,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
but we didn't get a second yet.
Yeah, we didn't. I suppose so. All right.
So I'll just restate the motion that we approve the additional appropriations as presented.
Do I have a second? Okay, I will entertain another motion, I guess.
Make a motion, Mr. President, to approve the additional appropriations except for the 1233 Fund Lit Correctional Facilities Contract Services Doctor. I'd like to table that particular request until February's meeting, and we can learn more about this in more detail and I could come in more competent next month.
Okay, I understand.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion made by Councilman Roberts and seconded by Councilman Alexander. All those in favor, sign aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay. So we will approve that with the tabling of the lit correctional facilities until next month.
I would like to say I'm all for it, but I understand that there almost needs to be like a receipt of what we're buying, I guess. I can't imagine there not ever being a nurse in the facility at all times.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
And if this number is what we have to live with, then I support it. I just want to see I just can't imagine how it could be this much.
How would you like us to facilitate this discussion? Who would like to be present whenever we call the owner and have him come up here?
I'd like to be president now.
I'd like us all to be as informed as we possibly could be on this issue and learn more about this. And perhaps the number of calls you've had in the past, the types calls, just the whole, help us understand what you're doing.
I understand, but without having a quorum, so to speak, who do we need to reach out? Who would like to be present from this body at that meeting?
Well, count me in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would come if you want me to, but
I feel like I know.
Hey, correct me
enough.
if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to go about this the right way. I know we can't, unless you guys have an executive session. But I
would say
think
if
Blake
those
would be
three wanna
willing.
go-
I mean, it might be a virtual meeting. He's in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he can't be here.
Yeah.
Maybe just prepare yourself for that, but I'm
Well-
sure he would try to be present.
We're an open door. We just want to learn more about this. It's not a matter of who can attend, who
I
can't attend,
understand,
and all
but
that.
there's
We just,
always scheduling
Yeah.
discrepancies, so it paints a clearer picture for us if we know who to contact, to reach out to try to set up this meeting.
yeah.
I think the most important thing is what information are you looking for in general? like
Blake has it all.
Yeah, Blake will be
He does.
Yeah, and that's what we're just trying to understand this, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, two, who's
Thank you, Mark.
Martha?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. do that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary. Okay, we don't have any transfers this month, and so we'll move on
So-
to,
Just for clarification, we've approved all the other appropriations.
Correct.
Except for the, whatever it was, the 261 for the correction facilities.
which is
Got it.
tabled.
it's been tabled, so it'll be on next month's agenda.
Right.
Okay, we will move on to salary ordinance amendment.
Okay. Ordinance number 2026, HCCO 4, salary ordinance amendments. An ordinance amending and increasing staffing and salary authorization to be paid county employees for the calendar year effective January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, as originally approved for the year 2026, except where otherwise noted. Be it ordained by the Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for said fiscal year, the following salary amendments are approved as additional changes to the basic salary ordinance for the same fiscal year. Necessary personal services appropriations have been approved previously to support the required expenditure of necessary funds. County General Jail Employee Service Bonus, $5,000. Prosecutor Caseworker, $41,521. Deputy Prosecutor, $56,425. Probation, PSC Coordinator, reduction, $30,000. Probation Officer, $11,664.08. Probation Officer, $5,000. Lit Special Purpose Fund, Jail Employee Service Bonus, $2,500. County User Fee Drug Court Fund, Problem Solving Coordinator, $5,000. County User Fee Reentry Court Fund, Problem Solving Coordinator, $25,000. County User Fee Project Income Fund, Home Detention Supplemental Reduction, $14. Director of Community Supervision Reduction, $266. Probation Officer Reduction, $10,731.70. Veterans PSC Grant, Superior Court 2 Fund, Probation Officer, $56,465.
It's 57.
$57,465. FICA, $4,473. PERF, $8,303. Insurance, $4,759.
Thank you very much. All right, any comments or discussion on the salary ordinance amendment HCCO-04?
I move to approve ordinance number 2026 HCCO 04 salary ordinance amendments as read.
All right, Councilwoman Lake has properly made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by Councilman Sanders. All those in favor of approving the salary ordinance amendment, sign aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Amendments carry. All right, is there any old business before the council tonight? Any new business? Andrew?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am here with a annual appropriation ordinance requesting authorization to access the Supplemental Public Defender Fund, which is a fund set up by statute that we are paying usually one-off expenses that have not been budgeted. Occasionally, it is used to pay things that may have been budgeted, but we didn't have enough funds for. I'll go ahead and use the supplemental fund, but it's primarily a lot for deposition costs, transcripts, those kind of other expenses that come up, extra software if we have really big trials going on with huge amounts of discovery. But it's the same appropriation ordinance that's been brought before the council for the last several years. Just asking to authorize continuation of the use of that supplemental fund.
All right, thank you, Andy Vanden Bosch. Anybody have questions for him? You come to us every year in January and go over this.
I'm not asking for any additional money.
You need a motion to approve?
Yeah, so the ordinance number is 2026 HCCO-07. Do I have any comments or motions?
I move we approve.
All right,
Second.
motion by Frank and second by Brett. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the ordinance 2026 HCC-07, sign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Other item on new business, we have an economic revitalization area. Alex, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, council. My name is Alex Miller. I'm with KSM Location Advisors. We're a consulting firm out of Indianapolis. We assist companies with negotiating and implementing tax incentives across the country. Here tonight, working with Merrill Brothers. Carson Merrill here, CFO, is in attendance. And just wanted to be here tonight to thank the council for what's been put on the table. We've been working with Merrill on an expansion project out at their existing location in Northwest Howard County. That would be to the tune of about a 40,000 square foot expansion of their physical space, mostly for administration and engineering folks. They expect to hire, as a result of this expansion, 35 new full-time, high-paying jobs, a lot of folks in the engineering space, as well as invest a little bit, or around $12 million in new equipment at their facility. We are here tonight requesting the 10-year tax abatement for both their new real estate as well as the new equipment that they'd be installing in the facility. I always like to mention that tax abatement is not something that the council and the community are giving as far as funds to the company. This is, they would have to perform, build this new expansion, install this new equipment, hire these new employees, and then they would have a reduced property tax bill kind of phased in over that 10-year period. And even with this tax abatement, we would still expect Merrill Brothers to pay over $529,000 during that time period that the abatement is ongoing. Happy to answer any questions. If you have any company-specific questions, I'll defer to Carson, but appreciate the consideration and the support.
This is additional employees anticipated, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you give us a ballpark idea?
On what they would be?
Numbers.
35.
35
New jobs.
additional.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned engineering and administrative, is that correct?
Yeah, it would be something like some of the list, and not to get too specific, like mechanical engineer, CAD engineer, process engineer, controls engineer, fabricators, service technicians, R&D administrators, CPAs, like myself, project managers, operations managers, service salesmen, so they're kind of a gamut. We're kind of going into a new phase of our business on selling environmental technology, so we need to increase our capacity to manufacture that equipment, as well as engineer and develop that and design it.
Is anybody else in that business world, that equipment-wise?
Sure, yeah, there's a few national competitors, like Manoli and Cinegro might be national developers, but they don't necessarily invest as much in the R&D space. They might just be a service provider. So we would like to sell and help be a one-stop shop for the municipality. We can offer the technology as well as the service.
Carson, I don't know if you can even answer this, but do you have any idea of all those positions you mentioned? Do you have any idea how many of those you can find locally?
We hope all of them. We hope with our company culture and the pay, obviously, we can get some of those people either relocating, which we've had success doing that in the past, or, commuting from, potentially Indianapolis or other, Lafayette or other municipalities. But we have had success with people relocating to Howard County. We had a gentleman who's in our marketing department. He used to work for a TV station in Indianapolis, has relocated to Kokomo. And one of our engineering managers used to work at IMMI down in Indy, and now he commutes here to Howard County to work. So that's one of the reasons why we're asking for the abatement, is because there's other opportunities where it might be a little easier to find those spots. But obviously, where you like to be homegrown, you like to do it here in Howard County if you can. So that's one of the reasons why we're here in front of the council. But yeah, we think we can find them, and we'll attract them to Howard County if we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to tell you that I don't want you to recruit our superintendent of the highway department, even as good of an engineer as she is?
Okay, all right. I don't know if we can make a deal or not, but
So this includes both construction on buildings and also on personal property?
yes.
Yeah.
And just so everybody's aware, this is just a preliminary resolution. We will actually, we'll have to vote this through, but the actual one won't go through until the next meeting if you guys so choose to move this one through. So I will say thank you guys for your presentation. Thank you for your commitment to Howard County. And we appreciate everything you do for your people and in so ways what you do for the county. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool what you're doing.
Thank you.
I won't make you go through the picture of how you do it, but yeah.
All the food that we talked about?
Yes.
Milkshakes?
Yep.
Okay, with that, do I have any more discussion or motion on the preliminary resolution HCCR 01?
Move to, move the ordinance through to a second hearing?
Second?
All right, so we have a motion by Councilman Alexander and seconded by Councilman Roberts. All those in favor of the preliminary resolution 2026 HCCR -01, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, preliminary resolution moves forward. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other council business tonight? One note I will say is the next regularly scheduled meeting will be on February 24th at 4 PM right here. And with that, thank you, everybody, for your confidence and trust going forward in 2026, and I appreciate the team we have here, and appreciate the hard discussions that we have to have this year. So, do I have a move for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Motion's been properly made by Councilman Roberts and seconded by Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor of adjournment, assign aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting is adjourned.